Mother and daughter estrangement. And those of you that don't like conflict or you're in it. I tell you this because not many people will or do sufficient enough for things to change. Conflict happens in lots of places, not just one. So daughters, I'm guessing what will happen here is your mum is either overpowering and intrusive or passive, and it's fucking annoying. What you're looking for, I'm guessing, is somebody to talk to you about what you both want. And for mum to really do some shifting. A problem that we have, or you may have, is that there's lots of talk about boundaries. And it's not sufficient enough to be healthy, it's just boundary. And it's usually so stacked and triggered that it comes out in passive aggression or aggression. The reality will have been, though, you haven't spoken to this issue directly. Before now, upstream, in a masterful way. We get to be masterful in life because that's what brings us health and happiness and wealth. So if this is an issue for you, firstly, you can follow for more. There's 2 others on this, talking to your mums. And equally, you could consider where you may have given too much rope. And perhaps you do that in other places with men, with friends, with anybody. And that there can be issues with communication at your end where it doesn't translate in the way that you'd like it to. And you're in danger if you're a pacifier. We get to have boundaries. A boundary is about safety. The boundary starts with us. You get to set boundaries for yourself. What will you do? What won't you do? And you back it up with self-respect and you follow through. Then we let people know that we're shifting in certain ways and we'd love their support because we get to be healthy, and perhaps we give too much rope or we're too aggressive. Because if you're bolshy, people won't challenge you, and then you'll wonder why people ghost you or are reactive with you. This is why I tell you this, because not a lot of people speak to behaviour straight. So either you're a bit of a bully, and if you are, it's unlikely you'll be watching this far because you'll be playing the flipping victim. If you are a bit of a bully, you'll be a bully to yourself. You'll be mean to yourself and mean to other people. It doesn't go one way. And equally, neither does this. There are 2 people in this situation. So you get to look at your part if you're not already doing so sufficiently enough. Because stress suppresses immunity. And equally, this again will be happening in other places in your life. People are taking too much, or you're cutting people off too soon, because a boundary is not a wall. A boundary is there because of trespass or invasion, we get angry, or because we've broken a fundamental value of our own. A boundary isn't usually helpful when we use the word boundary. It can be, this is what I'd love, this is what I love that you do when you do it, reinforce things that you like. And there are certain things that I may have given you the impression are okay with me and they're not. And I'd love your support because I'd love for us to have a good relationship. I'd like you to be my mum, not my friend. You know, transactional analysis, parent, adult, child. And oftentimes you bullies are talking to your mum like she's a child. It's disrespectful, she's your mum. Or you're talking to your mum like she's, you know, you're putting her too much up there with too much power. We get to balance. It's all about balance. Masculine, feminine, we have both. And your mum may be too masculine or too feminine. Either way, she's had a fucking shit time in her own life. Do you know the stories? They will be devastating. And it's not to say then you excuse her because she's got unprocessed trauma. However, you could have some compassion for her, and it could be you that stops the trend of unhealth, dis-ease, literally and emotionally. And I would be very for you having healthy relationships where you get to be seen, heard and understood just because you exist. I'm sending enormous love. Follow for more.